What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. The New York Knicks, the New York Knickerbockers have fired Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau had led them to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they eventually lost to the Indiana Pacers 4-2. This is the furthest the New York Knicks had been since 1999. 1999. Old Prince, 1999, when they got to the NBA Finals and they lost to the Tim Duncan, David Robinson-led San Antonio Spurs from the Alamo City. That's the furthest they had been, but I think this is an owner decision. Owner James Dolan. It has Dolan fingerprints all over this decision as he decided to get rid of Tom Thibodeau. After they were eliminated by the Indiana Pacers, the best player on the team, Jalen Brunson, said that he wanted Tom Thibodeau to come back, that Thibodeau was his guy, and he loved playing for Tom Thibodeau. But evidently, that didn't hold too much weight as far as James Dolan is concerned, because he decided to kick Tom Thibodeau to the curb. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. One thing that Thibodeau did that I didn't like was he never developed his bench. He didn't do that in Chicago, and he damn sure didn't do that in New York. And when you get to the playoffs, you play a deep team like the Indiana Pacers, who go 10 deep, and then you start playing players that you really didn't play that much during the regular season. You got lineups that didn't even play 1 minute together. And you put them out there in a big-time, high-pressure atmosphere of the playoffs, Eastern Conference Finals. You know, them guys actually perform better than expected when you really look at it like that. But still, they were no match for Indiana Pacers bench, because the Indiana Pacers bench had been playing throughout the season. They were well prepared and well tested to perform and do what they had been doing during the regular season and do it in the playoffs. And New York Knicks bench didn't get those type of opportunities. And you've seen the results. And that was one of many reasons why the New York Knicks lost to the Indiana Pacers. Now, the Knicks blew a 14-point lead with 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That game, I think, maybe cost them a chance at maybe going to a game 7. I'm not going to say that cost them the series, because you don't know what would have happened. But I do think if they'd have won that game, you know, they could have possibly won the series, or at least took it to 7 games. You know, they lost that game 1. It had a carryover effect in game 2, where they really got beat from pillar to post. They got dominated from wire to wire. They didn't get blowed out, but Indiana controlled game 2 from pretty much from start to finish, as Pascal Siakam was the best player on the court for game 2, and he set the tone for the Indiana Pacers. With all that being said, the Knicks did have a good year. It'll be interesting to see who will be the next head coach of the New York Knicks. I'm hearing Mark Malone, the former head coach of the Denver Nuggets. He won a championship 3 years ago when the Denver Nuggets defeated the Miami Heat 4-1, led by MVP Nikola Jokic and one of the top 2 guards in the NBA, Jamal Murray. Ran that 2-man game at the highest level, pick and roll, and it delivered the Denver Nuggets their first NBA championship in franchise history, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I think they might have won one back in the day, maybe in the ABA, but they not known as a team that had won any championships from what I remember. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But interesting news as far as the Big Apple goes. New York City, Brick City, Bronx on deck, decided to get rid of a well-respected and well-established head coach in Tom Thibodeau. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. I think if I'm James Dolan, I think Mark Malone would be at the top of my list. I will make a phone call down to Stores, Connecticut, and ask for an interview for UConn head coach, who's one of the rising young head coaches in all of basketball, led the UConn Huskies to back-to-back NCAA championships, flirted with the LA Lakers last year, decided to go back to UConn, but I would definitely try to see if I can get an interview with him and try to see what his interest is in potentially being the head coach of one of the most famous franchise in all of sports. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. That's just some of my early thoughts. I think Mark Malone is probably going to be the leader in the clubhouse, but I would definitely call Stores, Connecticut, and seek to talk and interview the UConn men's basketball head coach as well. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard Briscoe. Follow me on Twitch at BriscoeMA77071. Follow me on TikTok at JB Sports New Media. Follow me on my two YouTube channels at JB Sports, The Man, The Myth, The Legend 9656, and at JB Sports, The Man, The Myth, The Legend 8000. And like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, The Man, The Myth, The Legend. And I holla.